Everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jetsetting cruise ship tour. Today we're on board the Carnival Firenze, which is from Carnival's sister line Costa. And I'm really excited to be on board because this is a completely new type of ship for Carnival. It came from Costa, so it's got a very huge European influence to it. They didn't even have to repaint the funnel because the Sea of Costa counts for Carnival. There's no whale tail on board. So there's a lot of different things on board compared to my other voyages on Carnival ships. We're going to start our tour here on the Serenity deck, which is deck 15. This is the highest point of the ship, and this is going to be the adults only relaxation area. I love these areas of Carnival ships. They have Serenity areas on every Carnival ship that I've been on, but they have nice plush chairs. They have a special bar here. Lots of different options on the Firenze too, because they actually have a salad bar here that's open at certain points during the day. A nice little hidden meal option, which I loved. There's also several hot tubs sprinkled throughout this area, so this really is truly an oasis for adults. The kids can't find this. It's very high up in the forward part of the ship, so it's really fun to walk around here and check out some of the differences compared to my other ship tours on the channel. If you do love these types of tours, if you love cruise ships, if you love travel in general, please subscribe to the channel, like this video. It really helps us out. Now, throughout this tour, you're going to hear me compare the Firenze to other more normal Carnival ships because this is Carnival cruising Italian style. So they wanted to take these ships from the underperforming Costa brand and bring them over to the States and introduce the newer ships to the American audience. So you'll notice here you have a nice Aperol Spritz themed bar that wouldn't be put onto a Carnival ship normally. It's really cool to just experience a slightly different type of ship, even though this is technically a sister ship of the Carnival Panorama and the Carnival Vista. It's very similar to the Vista class of ship. Now, I haven't made it on board any other Vista class ships, so I can't compare directly to my experiences on another Carnival Vista class ship, but I gotta say I felt this whole ship felt a lot bigger than the other Conquest class, Spirit class ships that I've been sailing on with Carnival. Haven't been on any Excel class ships yet, but I'm gonna be sharing a lot of thoughts throughout this, just comparing to the different Carnival ships that I've been on. Now, stepping out of the Serenity area, you're gonna see the 3 water slides for the Carnival Firenze. You're gonna have 2 enclosed water slides that are pretty fast for the older kids, and then 1 outdoor, more gentle slide that's a little bit less tall. So technically, the water slide entrance areas are the highest point of the ship that the guests can travel to. So now we're technically on deck 14. This is split a couple of different ways across the deck. It's not a full deck. So here they have a few more loungers for all ages. It's not only for adults in this area. It's underneath the water slide, so maybe not the most relaxing of areas to relax, but in those busy sea days and you just need a beach chair just to hang out, this is maybe one hidden spot that you can find a beach chair and get some sun. Now moving on to deck 12, as there's no deck 13. In the forward part of this deck is going to be Cloud 9, the spa. This is also where the fitness center is for the Carnival Firenze. Really a beautiful area, Italian themed. You're going to have that kind of Italian bath theme. Feels like you're in ancient Rome as an emperor. I gotta say, the spa facilities felt pretty vast in terms of the number of treatment rooms that they had, but still felt pretty enclosed. I don't have any big relaxation spaces that I noticed in this area, so I kind of was hoping for a little bit more. But overall, a nice gym here for sure, up in the forward part of the ship. Nice views out, kind of like you're on the bridge. Nice new equipment too, techno gym equipment. So overall, that is the spa. Mid-deck on deck 12 and rising up to deck 14, it's going to be the sports square. So this is where you'll put on a harness and walk around on different tight ropes and obstacles. There's also on deck 12 one half of the mini golf course. I did notice that this was more of a European style mini golf course versus the Mayan theme that many of the other Carnival ships that I've sailed on have. So that was a slight difference, but I do love these little obstacle courses. They're great for adults and kids, and it's completely free in your voyage. They even have 2 sections that are kind of like walking the plank, and so you really do have to get out there out of your comfort zone. Really a lot of fun, though other ships have this actually extending out past the berm of the ship, and you can look down straight into the ocean. This didn't have that, but still a lot of fun. So mini golf is definitely present here. This is great for families on those sea days just looking for a little bit of competition. And right next to all that is the warehouse, which is the ship's arcade. Not gigantic, but pretty new games here and a lot of fun. And there is a secret stairwell up to this down from deck 11. So You might find your way into the arcade accidentally if you're taking the stairs on this ship. The arcade is not complimentary, so you can actually buy some arcade credits before your cruise, sometimes at a discount. So just watch that app or the website for frequent sales. But overall, this is kind of the kiddie casino, as I like to call it. But plenty of games here, and you can actually earn tickets and win some prizes. Heading aft on deck 12, we're going to find more sun loungers and areas to just lie about. Now there's also this jogging track. It is not a special surface. I felt like it was pretty slick, honestly, for many of the days that there's either mist or some rain outside. So just be careful there. Before laps equals a mile. And this is actually above the sports court. So you can watch people playing basketball or maybe some pickleball, whatever sport is in vogue during your voyage. Now, one thing I did like about the Firenze here is that there were a lot of different ping pong tables and foosball tables that were spread out throughout the ship that weren't maybe marked on a map, so you just had to find them. So that allowed for maybe a little bit more flexibility for families. These things sometimes can get really busy if they're in a high trafficked area, and unless you're a jogger, you're really not going to be able to find it. But this is definitely another area away from the main pools that you could probably find some seating on a sea day, maybe a little bit less busy. So I do like that. I like these hidden areas of the ships. These ships can be really busy. The ship can hold over 5,000 people at full capacity. So it's nice to find those areas that are secret, even on something big like this. Here's a good view of the sports court. See Shaq over there on the wall, comparing your height to Shaq. Shaq has a partnership with Carnival, so he'll be featured on the ship sometimes. No Shaq's Big Chicken restaurant on this ship, but I will show you where I think there is a secret Shaq's Big Chicken, just unbranded, in just a sec. Just a quick reminder, if you're watching this video trying to plan a cruise for next year, I can actually do the planning for you. I run a travel agency, and we can plan everything possible on your Carnival voyage or any cruise. We can help you compare different cruise lines, see what the best option is for you and your family. You can reach out at Mark Jackson at jacksonjetsetting.com, and we can give you a free quote. So we made it back to the mini golf course midship here on deck 12. You see those stairs up there will lead you to the other back 9 of the 9-hole golf course. But this is one really fun feature of this ship. They actually have a retractable roof that goes over the main pool. And so when the Firenze is sailing in cold water climates, I was sailing in December out of Los Angeles, so it was a little chilly. They actually had the roof closed, but I actually had it open on sail away day because it was really nice weather, nice sunny weather. So it's really fun to have that flexibility on these ships, and these roofs really work. So it's awesome to be able to jump in the pool, have some fun in the hot tub, and not be absolutely freezing. And finally, beneath the water slides, I did want to detail that there are little splash play areas for the younger kids. That's really a lot of fun, something I value as a new dad as well. So they can play all day with all these little interactive water features on either side of the water slides. So now we're going to make our way down to deck 11. It's going to be an indoor and outdoor deck. The forward part of this deck is going to be all staterooms, so that's a great deck to pick if you want to be close to all the action and a lot of the food on board. You have ping pong over here to the right, but I really love this area, just how it feels like I'm in a Italian home. But over here is the pergola bar. This is going to be a pretty standard bar with the standard Carnival bar menu, but it's got some really nice areas that are fully enclosed. You can open a window if it's a nicer day outside, but this is really, really a nice space. I loved how relaxed I felt in this area. The pergola bar is also above the pool, so we'll give you that first peek right now. Not a gigantic pool. Most cruise ships are not going to have a very expansive pool just because of engineering reasons. They're going to be on the higher decks too most of the time. So this is really a pretty pool though, and we're going to explore a little bit more when we get down to deck 10. One thing I like about the enclosed roof here is that when they do their seaside movies in the evenings or even during the day, you're going to be under that climate controlled environment, so you can get really great sound, and it's a really clear jumbotron there for the pool. Really, really a lot of fun. So now we're going to head outside on deck 11 here and check out a few more of the areas on board. This is where Camp Ocean is going to be. So Camp Ocean is going to be for kids 3 to 11, split into 3 different age groups. They have a lot of space here on the Carnival Firenze. They actually have indoor and outdoor space, so we're going to show you briefly the outdoor space, but then explore fully inside here. Dr. Seuss and Carnival have a partnership, so they actually have a cool reading library for the kids. Really liked this space. I love all the characters from the Dr. Seuss books. Everything felt bright and new here. This is definitely an area that they renovated before releasing the ship to the American market. But this whole space just felt bright, brand new. Definitely a lot different feel here than some of the other Carnival kids clubs that I've explored. Sometimes they just are a little bit maybe worn or maybe a little too dark for my taste. This all felt amazing. So I loved this area. Definitely my favorite area of all of the Carnival kids clubs that I've explored. You can see the outdoor area there with Connect 4, so they'll play games out there, and it's all in an enclosed, safe environment for the kids. So you have penguins, stingrays, and sharks, the different ages. So they're going to have age-appropriate activities for each one of those groups. So you can see the penguin area here has kind of more cars that you can drive around and just more toys for the little ones. And then, you have arts and crafts and stuff like that for some of the older kids that need a little bit more stimulation. This is all included in your cruise fare for the kids, except for late night. I believe they'll do some sort of kids club experience, and there's a little bit of an extra charge to that. But it's open a lot of hours, so the kids can play in there all day if they wanted to. So now walking out, you do have a few more lounge chairs here away from the main pool deck, so this might be a little bit better space to find if you were looking for a more secluded spot to read a book. So here you'll find the sports court, basketball, pickleball, volleyball, lots of activities here, and we showed you that from deck 12. Now here is the Versilia pool. So this is going to be the aft pool. I loved this space. Nice stadium seating leading down to the pool area. This was kind of a mini Serenity for me. A lot of times the Serenity area is actually in this section of the ship. So you're going to have a lot more adults hanging out in this area, but I loved this area with the nice pool and twin hot tubs on either side and great aft wake views. Now making our way back forward, this is going to be the other side of the sports court. And this is the smoker area for this deck. There's several smoking areas on board. This was definitely the largest of them. So this is a place that you can go and light up. Here's another outdoor area for Camp Ocean. So it's on either side of the deck here. Kind of squeezes into the walking space, but it's great that the kids have that outdoor area. Now walking back inside, still on deck 11 is one of the first restaurants that we're going to come across. This is Il Mercato. So this is going to be meatballs as well as what is basically the Carnival Deli. So they have kind of a combo space here. So you still have all your favorites from the other Carnival ships. It's just a different name. But I love the meatballs here. Lots of different options than the other Carnival ships. So I love variety and I love a little bit of difference while also still having those favorites. Again, a lot of plush seating here, really great ocean views from this area, and a few table games as well, like ping pong. Now we're going to head downstairs to deck 10 finally. Check out the pool deck. Lots to see here on this deck. Really love this space. Very Italian feel. I felt like this was like some of the nicest space here on the Carnival Firenze. But lots of food options here. This is where you're going to find your main buffet as well as the main pool. We're going to check out that restaurant there in just a sec. We'll loop back around. But here is a look at the main pool here on the Lido deck of the Carnival Firenze. And you have that nice Jumbotron there playing sports, movies, TV shows. There's games that happen here. Lots of fun stage space. Lots of live music throughout the day. But I love the feel of this. Just felt like very Italian. So this space is called Rococo. And this is kind of the main pool bar, basically. So you're going to have a couple of blended drinks and options here. You're going to have all of your fruity cocktails. It's kind of the replacement for the rum bar here. But some fun Italian theming on the wall, so don't miss that. Lots of fun details on this ship. This all felt like a cool Italian square to me. So I really loved this space. I can't talk about it enough. I love the 2 levels. Just feels like it was actually thought about, and lots of cool theming here. The Java Blue Cafe, which is featured on a bunch of other Carnival ships, pretty much every ship out there, that is featured here. So this is going to be your main area. But I will say, this being a former Italian ship, there are a lot more places to grab coffee on this ship, which is really great for me, loving those specialty coffees, but also for the lines in the morning. Love the faux trees here, just giving it that sense that you're not on a cruise ship. I love that. So overall, lots of seating here for those busy lunch times. But now we're heading out to a staple of any Carnival ship, Guy's Burger Joint. But this definitely has an Italian twist. They have a full Italian menu that I'll go into my review video on. But I was really impressed with the burgers here. I love that they brought the Guy's Burger Joint concept here, but gave it a little bit of an Italian twist. Now, as I figure out how to open the door to the marketplace here, this is the main buffet for the Carnival Firenze. So typical buffet, I would say, in terms of food and selection, but a lot less seating than a normal buffet. I felt like it was very cramped in this area. I felt like this place could be a little bit better designed. There's swirls right there for your free soft serve ice cream that's open late. But overall, a really nice theme in here, just not enough seating, I don't think. It got really busy in here. The buffet is going to be open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and now late night until about 2:30 a.m. That's a recent change from Carnival. But you're going to have your breakfast staples and then a bunch of different rotating lunch and dinner options. So a lot of variety here on the buffet. This is complimentary for your cruise. And then there's going to be a couple spaces that you can actually do a few upcharge items. So overall, a really nice space here. And as we make our way back to the pool, there's going to be a few more food options available to you. So now we're back at the Versilia bar here. So this is going to have your typical Carnival cocktail menu, beers, wines, that sort of thing. It's going to be very convenient for this pool area. And then you're going to have the Pizzeria Al Capitano. And this has some of the best pizza at sea, and it gets very, very popular pretty much all day when it's open. And they actually used to have it open until 4 a.m., but they made a recent change, and that now closes a little bit after midnight. So that's a little bit of a bummer there. But overall, a great included food option. There are some upcharge pizzas as well as that you can have custom made. But overall, a great time there at Pizzeria Al Capitano. Now here's the lounge area for the Versilia pool. Really do love this pool, love the look. And then on the other side of this pool is going to be a rotating restaurant. So it's called the Breakfast Shack in the morning, and then the Chicken Shack and the Seafood Shack at certain times of the day. This is going to be the space that is kind of like Shack's Big Chicken if you've been on some other of the Carnival ships. This has pretty much the same menu, and it's really, really delicious. And then Tomodoro here is going to be Italian and Mexican fusion food, mostly a taco bar. So now we're going to move down to deck 5. The rest of the decks in between 5 and 10 are going to be all staterooms. This is the Moda Bar, and the Terrazza staterooms are a kind of suites class with some exclusive amenities on the ship, including their own pool deck, though I didn't see them really checking wristbands or anything like that during my cruise, so just keep that in mind. But the Moda Bar is really slick and really fancy feeling. This is where you can grab some really nice espressos. There's different types of espresso martinis here. So this is definitely left over from when the ship was fully Italian. I love this space. And if you make your way outside the bar is the Terrazza stateroom pool deck. So this is going to be exclusive just to those rooms. You're going to see that they're very interesting rooms in general. But the cool thing here is you have 2 exclusive hot tubs just for these suites, as well as a nice seating area there, and then a back bar. If we walk around this corner here, you can see what the balconies look like for these staterooms. Now, the cool thing is you can actually lock your door from the outside and access it from the outside, so you can go straight to the pool. The downside is you do have this public walking space in front of your balcony, which I don't really love. Walking away from that, though, there's a lot of other areas here on Deck 5 that we'll go explore. The Tuscan Lounge is here. This is a good space for trivia. They have the Tuscan Bar as well. So Tuscany is where Firenze or Florence is, so that's where that name comes from. Karaoke happens here a lot. This is a big hubbub of activity for sure. Lots of seating over here on the port side of this deck, and then there's actually kind of a secret empanada bar, which has extra charge empanadas at certain times of the day. Really loved that. That was really cool to find. Don't really see that noted most of the time in any of the literature or website for Carnival, so pretty cool that they have that. This deck does have an outside promenade that pretty much goes all around. You do get locked out of the Terrazza suites after, sail away day, but that allows some of the restaurants here on Deck 5 to actually have some outdoor seating that we'll show you in a sec. So that's pretty cool that they offer that. I felt like that was really cool versus some of the other Carnival ships that I've been on. So I've definitely only seen these empanadas on this ship, so I gotta say it's probably just for the Venice-Class ships, but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Moving forward, we have the Pixels photo gallery. So this is where you can pick up all of your fun photos of your family during your voyage. All those memories, make sure to buy those before you get off the ship. And now we're going to reach a restaurant and bar district. This is one of my favorite spots on the ship. But first, we do have one of the mini shops on board, Hip Fish Sunglasses. Lots of shopping. I feel like that's definitely left over from the European days. A lot more shopping on this ship, I think, than some of the other Carnival ships I've been on. Frizzante is right here. This is going to be the Prosecco bar. You're going to get your Aperol Spritzes here. Aperol Spritzes throughout the boat. But Frizzante is going to have a more Aperol and bubbly drink forward menu. Il Viaggio is right here. That's one of the extra charge restaurants. I'll go into that in my review, but it's the Italian steakhouse on board. Fun fact, you get plenty of food there, and it's actually cheaper than the main steakhouse. I believe it was $42 on my sailing, so I do recommend that for quite a deal on some really delicious Italian food on board. Another shop here. This is going to be your watch shop on board. These are only open when you're out at sea in kind of the duty-free area. Now, fans of Carnival know that the Alchemy Bar is one of the best bars on board. Bad news is they do not have an Alchemy Bar on board, but they do have the Amari Bar. And the Amari Bar is going to have a lot of your favorite cocktails from Alchemy Bar, as well as more from this type of ship. So I really loved that. Best bartenders on board by far. Cool little pop out of the casino here. So the casino is just on one story, but you do have this little atrium that's also glassed in, so you don't get any of that smoke smell coming into this area, which is great. Bonsai Sushi is going to be the ship's extra charge sushi restaurant. So you have a sushi bar here, and then tables as well. So this is going to be per piece, which is really great if you're not all that hungry, but you want something a little bit elevated. This is a welcome change for me because on other ships, they do have bonsai sushi to go, like a little to-go window in the buffet area or even in the casino on the Luminosa. So it's nice that they have a full restaurant here. Fahrenheit 555 is going to be the ship's steakhouse. It's going to have a similar menu to many of the other steakhouses on board, but with a little bit of an Italian feel. Really do love that space. As we walk, we're going to make our way to the main atrium. Not a gigantic atrium on this ship, but does get the job done for sure. Over here is the piano bar, which I have never hung out at any of my Carnival cruises. I don't know if there's any Carnival piano bar fans on board that are watching this video, but let me know in the comments if you're a big fan of the piano bar. I love a dueling piano bar, but there's only one piano here. Bonsai Teppanyaki is going to be the ship's teppanyaki restaurant, which is a lot like Benihana. Awesome time here, great chefs, a good group activity. So I'm really glad that this ship has that concept. It's really popular in Royal Caribbean, and they have a lot of tables here. It's definitely the most popular of all of those specialty restaurants. It's just such a fun experience. So now we're making our way to the plaza. Lots of shops that encircle the main atrium here on the Carnival Firenze, but Effie, of course, being the ubiquitous jewelry shop. A lot of space here on board, lots of sales on board during your voyage, so watch out for those. And the atrium here is used for a lot of entertainment on board. They have a trio of violinists that were some amazing entertainment. They have a lot of ship activities, the captain's welcome. It's just a really beautiful space. It really does feel like you're back in Tuscany and Florence. Very grand feel for not a very large atrium, funny enough. Love the friezes right here. If you do head to the right, you're going to reach the top level of the theater, and we'll show you that in just a bit. But there's more shopping to show you. So here's another hip fish shop. This is going to be more of the apparel clothes shop. A lot of space for this shop as well. The Teatro Rosso is the name of the theater, but I'm going to pop out here and show you a little bit of the promenade deck, just so you get an idea of what it looks like. It's a really nice deck to be walking around on. It's nice that this ship has several decks that you can walk outside. I like the glassed-in nature of this too. You can get a little bit closer to the water level. Lots of deck chairs here as well to lounge about. And then one thing I really do like about the Carnival Firenze is that you can walk to the forward part of the ship and look out over the bow. You do have the crew pool here as well, so it's fun to take a look at that. Several stairwells that lead out to smaller areas on upper decks that actually do have some chairs and stuff. So there's a lot of little nooks and crannies here that aren't really featured on the deck plans, and probably most people don't discover during their voyage. Here's a little bit more of the outside seating for bonsai sushi, so you can choose to eat outside if you'd like. But there is one area to eat here that's included in your voyage that's only open certain hours during your cruise. And I felt like it had an awesome menu. And that was called La Strada. So it's kind of a buffet concept here, but I just loved the food here, and it was only open certain days, mostly sea days, on the voyage. So definitely check your schedule to make sure that you catch this. That's definitely a secret restaurant that not a lot of people are going to find out about during your trip. And this is going to be located outside of the Tuscan Lounge, and the Tuscan Lounge actually has a small bar area that I didn't see in use outside, probably more used during the warmer months. Now we're aft on deck 4, and there are some conference facilities aft here on deck 4. And we make our way forward, we're going to come across more bars and entertainment options on board. So the Limelight Lounge is a very popular venue here. This is going to be where all of the comedy is shown. This is one of the hottest tickets on the ship, so do get there early and get in line to get a good seat. Really nice lounge for comedy though. Art gallery as we keep walking forward though. Of course, run by Park West, which basically has a contract with every ship at sea for selling art. Then we're going to come across the Heroes Tribute Bar, which is located on pretty much every Carnival ship. I do like that the Carnival ships honor the veterans here. This is going to be the sports bar on board, so we're going to be showing sports a lot. But I like the wood feel of this bar, very swanky. Next to the Heroes Tribute Bar is going to be the smoking and non-smoking casinos. Non-smoking casino is going to be basically a large room with different table games and slot machines, but they do offer that here, which is great. And then they have the main casino, which is going to be a lot larger and fully smoking. You're going to have craps, blackjack, roulette, all the fun casino games that you know and love, as well as tons and tons of slot machines. Overall, very fun times in here. So the casino leads out to the main atrium again. You're gonna have Cherry on top, which is located right here in the atrium and on a lot of other Carnival ships. Your candy shop, flower shop, that sort of thing. Then you're gonna have a few different Carnival specific areas. You're gonna have the excursion area there for any sort of port activities and, you know, actually like items that you can use on your port activities. So that's really a lot of fun. Popping into the Teatro here, you can see what this looks like. Very elegant feel. I do want to note here, in between these stairwells of the Teatro Rosso is actually the teen clubs on board, which I think is pretty cool. The tween and teen clubs, rather. So you have Club O2, which has got a really huge space for them to hang out, play some video games. They have a little DJ area as well. Fun to walk through here. And then Circle C, which is for the tweens. So these are located right next to each other, but a really fun, dedicated space just for them and very hidden away from everyone else. Making our way out of the Teatro, there's actually a small duty-free shop here for liquors and different sundries. That's really fun. Your rum cakes, that sort of thing. And then here's the Cloud9 Spa's salon. So this is actually separate from the rest of the spa, which is very interesting. Down here on deck 3 is going to be the Medici dining room. I will say overall the dining room felt very small on board the Firenze compared to other grand ballrooms and dining rooms that I've seen on other ships, but this is where the Dr. Seuss breakfast is held, which is why you can see all the Dr. Seuss characters here. But other parts of the day, it's, you know, a little bit more elegant looking, but I thought that they did a really great job with the theming here. Even a cool ice sculpture with Dr. Seuss. I loved that. But overall, that is the Medici dining room. And this leads out to the main bar in the main atrium. So this is a really bright, glitzy place to have a nice drink. I just love the lighting in this area. It just seems very, very bright. This being a Christmas cruise, of course, there is a Christmas tree there. This is going to be the level that guest services is on. So you're going to have all of your concerns handled there, as well as your shore excursions here at the shore excursion desk. So we're reaching the end of our tour here. I just wanted to show you one more dining room on board. This is the Michelangelo dining room. You're gonna have the statue of David on the main stairwell, a very grand feeling space. This is where you're gonna get your My Time dining. This is where I was placed, at least. But overall, a really nice ship. Really want to go back on board someday soon. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you on my next tour.